Hello everyone, today I'm going to share a very helpful video with you. I'll show you how to repair a TV remote control using household items that almost everyone has at home. So if your remote control has temporarily stopped working, isn't responding, isn't pressing buttons or won't turn on your TV, don't rush to throw it away. So let's start from the beginning. It happened on a typical Sunday evening. You know that amazing feeling when you've got all your work done for the week. Pizza is cooling on the table, and you're settled into a perfectly positioned position on the couch, about to watch the season finale of your favorite show, which you've been mentally preparing for a full week, so to speak. And then I reach out to grab the remote, press the remote, press the power button, and nothing. Literally nothing. The TV screen remains black and cold, like the heart of my former boss. The first rule for anyone in this situation: if the brake bush isn't working, press the button harder, as if pressing your finger on a dead battery will apply the nuclear and see what Aldo does in the nulo. I pressed so hard that even my finger turned white and white. Zero reaction. Then of course I went to plan B. I started shaking the remote vigorously. Shaking it so hard, I remembered and applied an ancient Slavic ritual. I tapped it with my palm. Of course, the TV screen didn't light up. Of course, you'd think the batteries were probably dead or the contacts had come loose. I checked that too, replacing the batteries with new ones, but the TV remained silent. And by the way, I'm pointing the TV remote at your camera for a reason, brilliant. For those who didn't know, if the remote is working and you point it at your phone's camera, the camera displays an invisible signal in the form of a constant flashing untun. So this means the remote is working. At this point, you can see for yourself that the remote is truly dead. I'll say it again, don't throw the remote away. We'll try fixing it with the tools we have at hand. Anyway, I couldn't shake the thought that maybe this remote wasn't even worth it for what, and maybe it would work on its own. And then the DIY spirit in me woke up. It's a dangerous state when you have no idea how a microchip works, but you're sure you can fix it with some tape or some other material. So I decided to take the remote apart. Take apart a modern remote without any special tools. It's an art form in itself. There are no screws. It's held together by plastic clips that are designed for one purpose: to break if you try to open them both. I used an old screwdriver as a surgical instrument. Basically, there was a squeak, a crack, a couple of broken fingernails, and there the remote came apart into 3 pieces. This is a plastic keys. Top and bottom halves a rubber membrane with buttons and a green printed circuit board with tracks. To be honest, I have no idea which track is burned out or not. It's a seemingly ordinary circuit and I have no idea what to do with it. Initially, of course, we'll just try to clean it. I'll use a regular cotton swab and we'll try to simply clean the contacts of dust. We'll do the same thing on the rubber membrane. Anyway, as I said earlier, I carefully examined the board, expecting to see a burned out transistor or a broken wire, but the board looked perfectly clean. When I turned the rubber membrane over and looked at the back of the power button, everything became clearer to me. There's a small black spot on the back of each rubber button. That's the conductive rubber coating. When you press a button, this small patch closes the contacts on the circuit board and the TV receives a signal. So, over time, dust and perhaps a few drops of feed, this black letter button has simply worn away, turning into regular non-conductive rubber band. Basically, the contacts on the buttons you press most often have probably worn away. This is the power button and some other buttons that connect these Joku spot these tracks. And then I was in 7th grade in physics class. The strict teacher was explaining the properties of materials. The phrase graphite is an excellent conductor of electricity popped into my head. So we need graphite. But where can we find pure graphite at home? Well, of course, in the most ordinary pencils the school children used to draw circles in geometry class. So I rushed to find one. It turned out I did have one. It was green and labeled to be I, meaning soft. This was ideal. The softer the pencil, the more graphite it leaves on the surface. Next, I started working on the tracks that are really important for the remote TV. And of course, I'd recommend you start by specifically addressing these subplots, which I'll show you. But I'll show you because the step that we use is the vacuum is obvious. So rub the top right button on the remote with the pencil tip. Next, rub the on/off button. Now, of course, lest you think it, the order in which you rub these buttons doesn't matter at all. Next, rub the bottom button, which is on the left side. Go down even lower and even lower. In other words, we're working the left side almost halfway down. We put all these tracks. Then we go down to the least worn ones and rub the two bottom contacts in the same way. Basically, this is enough to get your remote working. You can, of course, go over it again, just to be sure, to make sure there's more graphite, so the signal conducts as well as possible. But I also decided to clean the contacts with regular cleaning compound, the contacts on the batteries themselves and on the springs of the remote control itself, so that the current from the batteries, of course, flows well to the board of the remote control itself. And of course, I advise you to do this because the cause could even be trivial. Some regular cleaning compound will help us with this. To be 100% sure, I would also recommend going over the entire membrane that contacts the board and absolutely all the same places you already cleaned on the remote control diagram itself. If you draw on some other buttons, I think nothing will happen. The main thing is that you do it. By the way, let me know in the comments how you personally repair remote controls at home. Perhaps you know another interesting way to repair such a remote control and what the cause might be. Next, we need to, of course, carefully reassemble everything so as not to break anything. And we'll also try to see if anything works and we're not knocks. We'll carefully assemble everything. Honestly, I have no idea whether this will work, but trying, so to speak, doesn't commit you to anything. And in principle, you can always buy a new remote. After reassembling and installing the batteries, we press the power button. And if you can see right now, that's exactly what's displaying the signal. The camera is now showing that when you press any key, a flashing signal comes from the sensor located on the remote. This means the remote is fully functional. And the problem with turning the TV on and off, or if some other button wasn't working, will certainly disappear. In this way, you can repair your old remote or the one that's not working with a regular graphite. This poco